is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Everybody, welcome to the show. Eddie, blow the whistle. So, the Jets lost last night. It was bad game to watch, but to take our attention off of how bad the game was and the interception that Aaron Rodgers threw, that was totally his fault, not Mike Williams.
Yeah.
They did trade for Devontae Adams. And so a trade between the Jets and Raiders for Devontae Adams expected to get finalized today. It will be for a conditional third-round pick that can become a second-round pick. That is what the Raiders wanted, was a second-round pick. And so the Jets were like, we'll give it to you, but only if Adams plays so much, basically. We'll talk to Casey, who's a Jets fan, coming up. I'm sure he's sad about the loss. That was just a bad game to watch.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was two, not very good teams or just a competitive game.
It's just cold and wet, and the refs were throwing a lot of flags.
A lot.
It just wasn't.
How many penalties?
It just was not a very entertaining or interesting game.
That Hail Mary was cool, though.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw a couple shots, too, from fan shots from their phone, which is pretty cool. Lazard caught that, right?
Yeah.
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 That's the only guy who catches anything.
Yeah.
Rodgers. But pretty cool. Devontae Adams is going over to the Jets. I don't know for how long, because he can just play this year and then move along.
Yeah.
But also, they fire Salad, they lose again. It sucks to be a Jets fan. I felt that. All right, let's get over and do the tittle tattle. Let's go.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
In honor of the Cowboys getting beat down on Jerry Jones's birthday, what is the worst birthday gift you've ever received?
I remember being really sick on my birthday. I've never been a big gift guy on birthdays, but I remember being really sick, and I was like, let's have the party anyway. And I couldn't get out of bed. There was a party happening, and it was in the living room for me, but I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed.
When was that?
That's I was 24 or something.
Okay.
That's my worst birthday memory. So it wasn't so much about a gift, but just a bad birthday. But yeah, the Cowboys were beat so bad. And Jerry Jones is 82, 83?
Yeah, 82.
Yeah, he's old.
The Cowboys were beat so bad, and it was the worst loss at home since he bought the team, which is also kind of a weird stat that they've never been beat worse, even when they were sucky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like they're as bad as that loss is and was. I feel like, it was not a good game. And then they were pressing. They were pressing the whole time, trying to catch it. Dak was pressing, throwing picks. The part to me that I think would have been most bothersome if I was Jerry Jones was all the trick plays they were trying to run just to rub it in.
Yeah, they were rubbing it.
They were trying to get Penei Sewell a touchdown. They were doing flea flickers.
I think at one point Campbell said, we're just going to open the whole playbook up and just try things now. That's rude.
I think it was probably this is a widely watched game on national television. It'll be the highest ranked game because that was a noon game, right?
That was a Fox.
That was a 3 o'clock game.
It was 3 o'clock.
Tom Brady game, yeah.
Whatever it was, let's just show off a little bit. The Chiefs do that sometimes too when they get a big game.
Yeah.
But it sucks for the Cowboys. I just would not take it as personal or as meaningful as a lot of Cowboys fans are, because you're not that much worse than the Lions. You're a little worse than the Lions.
You don't think so?
But you're not 47-9 worse than the Lions. Nobody is.
We are battling. There's a lot of injuries, but that's never an excuse. But we do have a lot of guys out.
Everybody has a lot of guys out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
No, everybody has injuries all the time.
I just keep telling myself
And
that.
then they did lose their best defensive guy.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson.
That sucks.
God, that was brutal.
Yeah, that was ugly.
I never saw him say I broke it or it's broke while watching it, but I did see him pulling his glove off. So I thought it was something to do with his hand or his arm. Ended up being his leg, right?
Oh, yeah.
Leg.
Snapped.
Yeah.
He actually did mouth it's broke.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw when they zoomed in and you could hear him go, it's broke, but I didn't see it because they were showing it as it happened, and you see him saying something live, and you see him, and they're like, he's taking his glove off. I was like, did he lose a finger? What happened? But yeah, that sucks for them. They still probably have the best roster in the NFC.
They're
Did
loaded.
you see how he broke it?
No, I don't like to watch that stuff.
They didn't replay it, but when you saw it live, and you had to go back and rewind it to actually see it.
You did that? You rewound it yourself?
Well, because whenever they say we're not going to show you, I'm like, well, now I want to see it.
Oh,
no.
So I rewound it, and just the force of his leg going into another guy's leg is what snapped it. That's it. It didn't get stepped on. It didn't land. He didn't land wrong on it. His force moving forward was so fast that when it hit the other guy's leg, it snapped in two.
I want to read you the Cowboys schedule coming up. Let me know what are W's and what are L's. Eddie, this is just for you.
I don't even know anymore.
Cowboys at 49ers coming up.
Loss.
It's not this week. You have a bye this week.
Yeah, we have a bye.
That
Thank
sucks
goodness.
It sucks to get blown out and have a bye. That's the worst thing.
Oh, no. Then practices, man.
You want to get
focus.
back. If you get blown out, you want to get back on the field. You don't want to have to wait 2 weeks and just sit in your 47-9 stew. That would be the worst. But yeah, they're off this week. But hey, they have injuries, right?
Yes, that's what's helpful about it.
Only team with injuries.
Cowboys at 49ers, Eddie?
Loss.
Okay. Cowboys at Falcons.
Loss.
Eagles at Cowboys.
Loss.
Texans at Cowboys.
Loss.
Cowboys at Commanders.
Man, that would be such a bad loss, but I'm going to loss.
Giants at Cowboys.
Win! We got a W!
Hey!
Bengals at Cowboys.
We got a W!
You think you'll beat the Bengals?
Yeah, we're on a roll now at that point. After the Giants, we're sitting high.
Okay. Cowboys at Panthers.
Win!
3-game win streak right now.
3 in a row.
Cowboys at Eagles.
I bet we win that second one.
Okay. And Commanders at Cowboys.
I said we win that one.
So you're 5-5 for the next 10 games.
We're 4-4 now, right? Or 3-3 now? What is it?
Well, it'll be an odd number. So whatever it is, unless I missed a game, because I could have counted wrong. But so you're gonna
2-3, aren't you?
No, we're tied now. We're 500.
You're gonna be 9-8 or 8-9. Is that what you think the team is?
I mean, that's kind of where I see it. I mean, dude, oh my gosh, the next few months are going to be hard as a Cowboys fan.
Do you mean the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Did you say that wrong?
I know, but you got to understand, Bones, every year is our year. So when the season starts, we're like, let's go, baby. And then it's just been bad, and it's going to get worse for the next few games.
What do you do about Micah Parsons? You got to pay him a ton, obviously, if you want to keep him and you love him. But you just paid Dak and you just paid CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
And the team as it is now is not going to be a team that wins 12, 13 games. Like, what are you starting to change your mind on what to do with him?
Yeah, I say we get rid of him. I say we get rid of him, trade him for some good stuff because, I mean, you look at the defense now, it's not the linebackers aren't the problem. There's a lot of problems with that defense. So I feel like with him being out, and even when we played, was it who did we play last? I think the Raiders. The defense could function without Micah Parsons. I saw that. We saw that for the first time, which is kind of cool. Man, if we can get rid of him and get some good stuff for him, I think that's what you do.
But what do you mean get some good stuff? Like draft picks that rarely materialize?
Yeah.
I mean, Parsons is awesome.
You would have to do at least first.
You have to get a player.
Yeah.
A player and a pick.
And a proven player.
Yeah, it sucks. All right, next question.
All right.
That sucks. I'm sorry, dude, for your loss.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Despite the loss on Saturday, do you think Ohio State fans should feel good about their team still being contender?
Yeah. They can still win the national championship. I mean, I still think the best two teams that I've seen are probably Texas and Ohio State. Oregon played their balls off.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
And super happy about it. I was rooting for Oregon. Oregon played as hard as they could, got a break or two, and won the game at home. So pretty cool. Good job, Oregon. I still think Ohio State is probably, them or Texas is still probably the most stacked roster. Man, Ryan Day's got the pressure on him, man.
Yeah.
They can't lose anymore. Like that, the Big Ten, by the way, they're going to have like a tie up in first place. They have 3 teams that I don't think have a loss and like 3 with 1 loss. Like it's going to be a logjam up there because they all don't play each other.
Yeah.
So looking at Ohio State's schedule the rest of the way, Nebraska, they should win that. Ohio State, Penn State, they play in 2 weeks. That's fun. Ohio State should win that, but they are playing in Penn State.
Yeah.
But Ohio State should win. But if they lose that, I don't know how, if they don't get in the Big Ten championship game. I mean, I guess you can be the 3rd team from the Big Ten. And they are Ohio State. So it's going to be a bit unfair to the Georgias, Ohio States, Texas of the world that have a pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to win. They need to play in the Big Ten championship. Even if they lose the Big Ten championship, I think they're in to the playoff.
As long as they get there.
I think there's a shot to, if they don't get to the Big Ten championship, they can still get to the CFP. But it's going to take some stuff falling the right way. But they play Penn State in 2 weeks. They play Purdue. That's easy. Northwestern, easy. They play Indiana, which they're good.
Yeah.
They haven't lost yet.
Yeah. They played some bad teams, but yeah, they haven't lost yet.
And their coach is awesome. Signetti, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And then they play Michigan, which Michigan's not that good. So, I mean, it kind of all comes down to the Penn State game as far as like what I would project as being like their biggest hurdle until the Big Ten championship. But I mean, Texas is good.
That's going to be, yeah.
Texas is good.
If Ohio State has any question about if they make it, that's the most disappointing year in a long time.
Especially because they paid $20 million for their roster.
Yeah, the most expensive, right? NIL.
Biggest NIL spend ever. So I would say Texas, Ohio State. We're going to find out about Texas when they play Georgia.
Yeah.
This week. Big one.
A great game.
And with Georgia, because Georgia lost to Alabama,
Yeah.
Georgia will have 2 losses. Remember, the SEC is not split East and West anymore. It's going to get a little weird.
And Georgia doesn't look all that great.
Georgia just doesn't look like Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're really good. But, I mean, there's been so much parity now because a lot of these players, again, if you were the depth that was going to probably be the next guy up, sometimes you just bail. Go to another program.
Yeah. So if you lose a guy, that's big.
Yeah.
Because was it Mississippi State? It was close for a while with Georgia.
It was close.
They only won by 10 points.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And I was like,
they only won by
Mississippi
10 points.
State
I know.
really bad.
Because Mississippi State supposedly sucks, although they are getting a little better.
Yeah.
But even this weekend with Arkansas and LSU, like Arkansas's only lost 1 conference game, which we shouldn't have lost Texas A&M. We had them, which it annoys the crap out of me. It wasn't like they beat us.
Yeah.
We screwed. Doesn't matter. I'm trying not focused on that.
You tried.
But we beat Tennessee, right? And
Yeah.
we're playing LSU. I think they're ranked number 8. LSU's only a 3-point favorite. Now they're playing in Arkansas. I think that's another one of these games that we can win. And if we win this game, we have 1 loss in conference. Now, inevitably, somebody like Mississippi State will come and snipe us.
Yep.
But we still have Texas to play. We still have Missouri. But yeah, these conferences that have no East and West, and these new teams are added because now it's P4. So it's kind of cool
You guys
to
are
wonder
beating
what's
the
going to
crap
happen.
out of each other.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Texas coming up in a few minutes. Okay, next up.
NFL, despite both teams getting a win on Sunday, is it time to be concerned about the Eagles and Bengals?
No way, man. Bengals won again. Just win. Bengals just need to get to 500. The whole season starts over if the Bengals get to 500. Yes, the Bengals' defense is not good. Joe Burrow has to play effectively perfect quarterback. However, he is a really good quarterback. And I guess what's great about the season continuing on is some of the teams get better. Other teams lose players because of attrition. The Eagles thing was weird because they won, and then you saw their coach mouthing to their own fans.
Yeah.
Because they were like, fire Sirianni, and he's mouthing at them. He's not going to last past this year regardless. No. I don't think Sirianni makes it past this year. Even if they go to the playoffs, it's going to be tough for him to make it.
Stop sticking your foot in your mouth, dude.
Yeah, it's just like he just keeps on shooting
Especially
himself
with that
right in the
fan
toes.
base.
He's like an emotion. Exactly, the Eagles fan base. You don't mess with them, man.
Yeah, Eagles beat the Browns. Browns are terrible. Deshaun Watson played really bad, but not awful. And that's an upgrade for him because he sucks.
He's so bad.
But the Eagles beat the Browns 20-6. The Bengals beat the Giants 17-7. And I bet on that game. I had a 7 or 8 game parlay, which was pretty nice. I bet $100, won like $1,100. So I was feeling pretty good about that. My last game was the Bengals and the Giants. And I felt really good about it. I felt so good about it that I didn't even watch most of the game, watched a little bit at the beginning, and I was like, this is nothing. And then I checked back in and I saw they barely won. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, it was close.
And it was even closer than that until Chase Brown had that touchdown in the fourth quarter.
That's what Eddie told me when I got. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Because I've been watching football all day. I was sleepy. I didn't want to be stressed out on my last bet too, because I'd have been doubly stressed. And then I saw they won. I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, wait, they only won? Yeah, it's tough. But the Giants are also getting a little better too, which sucks for the Cowboys.
And they still don't have Malik Neighbors.
I know.
Yeah, still concussion this last week, right? Is he going to play this week? Do we know?
I'm not sure yet.
All right, next question.
Last one. After putting up 51 on the Saints, how legit do you think the Bucks are?
Pretty legit. I mean, I think if you were to rank the NFC, like if you were to like tier them at the top, you'd probably have the Lions for sure and the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody else you'd put in that upper tier? I don't have a list of teams in front of me.
Niners,
I'm not
just
going to put the
because
Niners yet.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm going to put them in that second, like still really good. But I think the Lions and the Vikings are the cream of the NFC.
It's fair.
I think in that, tell me if I miss anybody because I don't have any pictures of all the teams. In that second tier, I'd probably put the 49ers. I'm not going to put I'm going to put the Commanders in that above average just because they haven't done enough yet. Like, I'm almost convinced in their game against Baltimore.
Played well.
Like, yeah.
They did.
Yeah, Jay Daniels, he played. He's really good.
Yeah.
But they haven't convinced me yet as an organization. And who cares about me? But I can't believe that team with that logo on that helmet is going to win consistently because they haven't in forever. So
And then you got like
the Commanders in the third, but in the second.
Falcons, Packers.
Yeah, Falcons. You gotta put
I'm going to
that
put the
there.
Packers in the second, in that second tier. I mean, the Falcons are right there in that middle of that second and third tier. Like they easily could be up in the bottom of that second tier or the top of that third tier, that above average tier.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins looks better. They get the ball when they get the ball to Kyle Pitts. That's cool.
Yeah.
I've had him every year in fantasy my whole life. I think he only had 2 catches, but he had him early this game, so he had like 2 catches, 60 yards, and I was like, game on, baby.
Take that.
Somebody dropped him out of the league. I picked
did.
him up. I was like, thank you.
Drake London's solid, but I'm gonna put the 49ers and the Packers. Anybody else in that second tier?
Bucks, Falcons.
that's it.
I'm gonna put the
Saints.
Bucks, the Falcons,
The Seahawks kind of dropped out of it.
Commanders
Yeah, Seahawks.
in that third tier. Bucks, Falcons, Commanders. In the totally average tier, the Saints, like they could beat anybody, but they also could lose to anybody.
You never
They've lost
know.
4 in a row after that 2-0 start.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's. So I'm gonna put the Bucks, the top of the third tier, or the bottom of the second. But also the Bucks have just generally not been good, so it's weird to think they're gonna consistently be good. I know they won the Super Bowl with Brady, but that year doesn't count because he went in.
Even last year, winning the playoff game, you kind of forget. And they smashed the Eagles.
They did,
And then they almost beat the Lions.
They went into the playoffs with like either 8-9 or 9-8, right? Like, didn't they go in like where they barely got in?
Oh, they did barely sneak in.
Yeah, I think they're good. I think Baker is awesome to watch. He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
There are 2 quarterbacks I like watching that aren't like the main guys. I guess I'd put Jaden Daniels in there, but he could also be a main guy real soon. I like watching Baker play because he just goes hard. Runs, dives, jumps, yells, fights, everything. And I like watching Bo Nix because he's out of his mind. He's out of his mind.
Ferris Bueller?
Yes. And he's played terrible the first half. And actually played pretty well second half. But he goes as hard as he possibly can all the time. That's why I think he's going to end up being pretty good. He's too confident. But that's what you need to be.
Yeah.
It's like he has no firm grasp of reality and how bad he is at times. So that allows him to not be so bad in the same game. But Bo Nix goes hard.
I respect it.
Me too. Hey, Bo Nix goes hard. Yeah, I think the Bucks will probably win that division. Right?
Yeah, them and the Falcons. Falcons lead right now.
The Falcons too, though. That's right. I know.
And they barely, the Bucks should have won that game 2 weeks ago now.
All right, there you go. That's Tittle Tattle. Thank you.
Stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
All right, pick a player, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. So, all of this, and we're going to do Bo Nix here because I have this up. All of this is fun because you think if a player will do like over 50 rushing yards or under 100 pass yards. But it's a really cool game. It's the DraftKings Pick 6 app. If you do this, put in the code Bobby Sports. That's one word. The Thursday night game coming up in a couple nights is going to be Broncos at Saints. What's the Broncos record? 2-3? I guess they played 6 games now, huh?
3-3.
That's pretty good for a rookie quarterback. I know I'm on the Bo Nix train. I bet him for rookie of the year. He's not going to win rookie of the year unless somebody gets hurt. But if they're 3-3,
yeah, they're either all in or they look.
That's how he plays, man.
Awful.
That's how he plays. Alvin Kamara, more or less than 108 total yards.
Oof.
Against the Broncos, he catches so many balls. I go more. Alvin Kamara more. Bo Nix, more or less than 24 yards rushing. Dude, I don't know. That guy's all over the place. I have no idea. I'll go less because that's just a lot from a quarterback that I don't feel like is a natural running quarterback. I feel like he's just running. He's not a runner. Yeah. He's just running all the time. Cortland Sutton, more or less than 45 receiving yards. I go more. Spencer Rattler, more or less than 182 passing yards, which, by the way, got a cannon. Always had a cannon. At times, didn't look terrible. Did you watch him play at all?
Yeah, a little bit. He also looked very confident.
Yeah, he throws the ball.
Yeah.
He spins it, as they say.
Ooh.
God dang, he is such an arm. At times looked pretty solid.
So 2 rookie quarterbacks with all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, probably a little overconfident, both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
We like that. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app. Use the code BobbySports. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits expire in 6 months. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. All right, so now we're going to talk with Oklahoma football coaching legend Bob Stoops. Coach Stoops currently coaches the Arlington Renegades of the UFL. He's still at it. And so we'll talk about that too. He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2021. 18 years at the University of Oklahoma. Coach Stoops never had a losing season at OU, won a national title, coached 2 Heisman quarterbacks. The list goes on and on. Big fan. Big thanks to Coach Stoops. Here he is, Coach Bob Stoops. Hi, welcome to the show, Coach. One of the greats. I'm super pumped to have him on. Coach Bob Stoops.
Hey, the great Bobby Bones. Hey, I love it. I listen to you all the time.
Holy crap. This is like a real highlight for me because I've been a fan for a long time. But get this, Coach. My wife and all of my family are Sooners, massive Sooners. And as I've grown up a Razorback, I am now totally baptized in Sooner world, and you are like the epitome, Mr. Coach Bob Stoops. So
Hey,
I love this.
Someone reached out to me not long ago to gift you up, to send you a cameo wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah, I reached out to you about my wife. I paid.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, no, I paid Coach Stoops on Cameo to tell my wife happy birthday, and he was in like a beach. He was like, it's Coach Stoops from the beach. So
I was down in St. Augustine. You're exactly right. But hey, thank you for coming back to Oklahoma not a few games ago to do the tribute to Toby Keith. You know, come out between the third and fourth quarter. I was up in the press box. I looked down. I said, "There's Bobby Bones." As they introduced you, and it was nice of you to come back.
Well, I appreciate that, and I love Joe C. So anytime Joe C, who's the athletic director, asked me to do anything, and I knew Toby, and so it was a real honor. I want to start because I've got some questions for you, Coach. So
right.
As you can see here, I've got your hat on here. This is the Renegade.
Got the Renegades hat. I love it.
I got the Renegades hat on, and so is this to scratch a coaching itch? Did you feel like you just needed to somehow get back involved?
You know, Bobby, when I left, truthfully, I just wanted my own time and space, right? And you know, the old adage, be careful what you wish for. Well, I had a little bit too much of my own time and space. And so this kind of filled that void a little bit for a few months out of the year. My wife was glad to see me get out of the house for a few months. And it does scratch the coaching itch. I really enjoy the players and being on the field with these older guys.
So what's a game environment like with the Renegades? If we were to go to a game, which by the way, people can get tickets at ufl.com/tickets. They are on sale starting today, which is great. What's a game environment like if we're going to come watch the Renegades?
It's a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. The players do a lot of engagement with the fans. A lot of pre-game, post-game intervention with the fans and the players, coaches. You know, great environment with all the concessions. A lot of music being played. You know, it's a fun environment. It's good football like you're used to watching. You know, Saturdays and Sundays.
Does it still feel wildly competitive, and you want to win every game with every ounce of your body?
Oh, absolutely. You sure do. You don't do anything without trying to win and do well at it. But I can't say that it's the high pressure, you know, like coaching at Oklahoma used to be.
Coaching at Oklahoma. Like, I feel like in my lifetime, you made that school such a brand. Like, to me, you're that's what I associate with Oklahoma. I was born in the 80s. So I was with Coach Switzer, although he's from Arkansas and was on, you know, he's part of my crew. And my wife and I have like shared, I don't want to say too much, but Switzer's very common in our house because that's one thing we can agree on because he was both Arkansas and Oklahoma. So Coach Switzer was like one generation above, but for me, you are Oklahoma. When you go into that job, a storied program, what in the world is your best case scenario? Is it to continue the legacy, or do you think, man, I want to be the greatest of all time here?
You want to be the greatest. I mean, you know, but you realize every time period's different. Circumstances are different. Leagues are different. so you do the very best you can, and you want to be as much as anything a champion. You want to be able to win the Big 12 championship was always our first goal. You want to win a national championship and more. So fortunately, we were able to do those things, and you do the very best you can.
When you were playing at Iowa under Coach Fry, what did you take from his leadership style, either advertently or inadvertently, that really made you part of the success that you are now?
I think as much as anything with Coach Fry, it was the way he carried himself with the confidence and the confidence he carried himself with, and the way he related to his players.
When you get to Oklahoma, what was the first big game that made you nervous?
Well, I would say you get nervous. I'd say as much as anything, you're excited, you're anxious, and you can't wait for it. So I would say probably in '99, the OU Texas game was, that's always earlier in the season, and it's always a big game for us. I'd say that we had Notre Dame ahead of OU Texas that year at Notre Dame. So I would say that was a big one as well.
When you were coaching, obviously NIL, not existent. Who do you think would have been the player that you had that would have made the most NIL money?
Adrian Peterson, for sure. Yeah. He would have been one of them for sure. That he was a special guy. But fortunately, I had a lot of really good players. And, another one, here lately, it'd have been hard to deny what Baker Mayfield might have made.
With Adrian Peterson being a Texas kid, were there instances, because Texas is such a fertile recruiting ground, were there instances where you were taking diehard Longhorn fans and having to go, okay, I know you're a Longhorn, you grew up a Longhorn, but let's talk about being a Sooner? Was that a common recruiting pitch?
As much as anything, no, most, we were winning at a high level. When we were recruiting Adrian, we'd already won the national championship. So, as much as anything, it was about, look at what we've been doing here. And we're only, if you're in Dallas, we're only 2.5 hours up the road. You can be in Oklahoma as fast as you can be in Austin, Texas. So why not go and win the championships and, those kind of things. And you sold your program. It wasn't so much just because you grow up a Longhorn, you got to stay one. It's where's your best opportunity is what we sold.
When you were playing at Iowa, you played an entire season with an injury, true?
Well, I had multiple injuries. I had a fractured thumb and a fracture in my big toe that they had to shoot up every game, and then tape up a soft cast on my thumb.
And was that just normal culture? Like, just tape it up, shoot it up, let's go back to work?
Well, doctors were careful. They could shoot it up because it obviously couldn't get any worse, and it was going to heal anyway. So it wasn't something that it was going to make it worse. So anyway, but back then, there was a lot more of that. And again, you just wrapped up your thumb in a soft cast, where you could still play. And my foot it'd be awful painful once that numbing wore off later in the evening after playing all day on it. So, but you just put up with it.
Those were back in the days where water was like a gift. Like, you didn't get water freely. Like, you got water if you deserved water. And, you taped it up, you wrapped it up. I act like I know. Like, I played high school football, so we didn't get not anything that hurt. Like, I wasn't playing.
The old adage, Bobby, they said, just rub a little dirt on it. It'll go away.
Yeah, it never went away from me, though. As a coach, what was the worst, like, training punishment? I hated bear crawls. Those were the worst to me. I'm trying to think, like, crab walks were bad. There were a few of those that, gassers were terrible. Like, as a coach, and it was like, all right, guys, on the field, what was the worst that you knew would just drive them crazy?
When you used to make somebody roll, and I never did it, but I've had people do it where you just lay down and you just roll sideways and across the field, and that didn't make you guys feel too well. But I never did that one. I was just more about running.
Would you ever do the thing where if you had a bad game and you flew back home, it was like go right to the field?
No, I never was much on punishment or things like that. That was never my style.
Yeah, I need punishment. Yeah, that would be how I would need to be coached. Coach, like you did bad. Let's go punish you. So when you're coaching the Renegades, like these are adults. Like these aren't college kids, right? So
Right.
it's a different level. These are professional ball players. What's the difference in coaching you're doing on the day-to-day, the person-to-person with a Renegade versus when you were coaching in college?
It's like night and day, really. You're like you said, you're working with grown people, grown men. A lot of them have families, wives. So it's just different. And the fun part of it is the reason they're playing is because they love football. They want this opportunity to show that they could still play good football. So it's really easy to you don't have to motivate. The motivation's already there, and it's really enjoyable. They pick up the game really fast, because all of them have played a lot of football in the past. So it makes it really easy. And then when you leave the field, I don't have to call Johnny's parents because Johnny won't go to class. I don't have to go to an academic meeting. I don't have to go to a compliance meeting. I don't have to go to a recruiting meeting. It's just football with a bunch of guys that love it and that are good at it.
Speaking of pro football, when you were at OU, how often would you get calls asking about your specific players? And could you ever say something that wasn't positive?
We got calls a lot about our players. And if I didn't have anything positive, I wouldn't say anything at all. But I was always clear with our players, though, because these guys are going to call every year. And certain guys, Johnny over here is really working hard, doing everything right. If you're not, I'm not going to lie, so there isn't any lying going on in this building. So, but if a question was there that I couldn't just be real positive about it, I'd ask the guy, I said, well, you have to ask somebody else or go to the next question. So, but anyway, it was easy to brag about 99% of the guys we work with are incredible.
Coach, you still rocking the visor these days?
Oh yeah, when I can on the golf course, or I don't have one made for the Renegades. I'm going to have to work on that. I had one, I did, but it's one of those smaller softball ones. I got to get a football visor made.
How awesome was it when you retired to play golf all the time? I don't want to retire, but I feel like I'd like to play golf all the time.
It was pretty good. I'll never forget my first Saturday when OU was playing and I'm not on the field. It was an evening game, and I was out on the golf course about 9 a.m, and I was the only one there. Everybody else was partying and doing their tailgating, and then I saw a bunch of people looking at me like, "What am I doing here?" And I was like, "I don't have to be at the field." So it was different. It was really different.
How long did it take you to understand, like your body to understand that was the new normal? Like Saturday came, but to you, Saturday was a Saturday. It wasn't like go to work day.
It took a couple of years, truthfully. It was, it was incredibly terrible the first year out, and then it was just terrible the second year out. So I was working my way to good, but it took a while. Definitely, it was hard.
I was watching you coach the bowl game a couple years ago, and I would think that would be fun. I wish somebody would call me to coach a bowl game, not coach the season at all, and just be like, Bobby, come in and coach the bowl game. Like, how much do you have to pick up, coach, to go and coach the team that you coached forever, but obviously you weren't the head coach, but you go back in? Like, how hard is that to just pick up?
Well, it wasn't that hard because the players were familiar with me. The assistant coaches were familiar with me, of course, they're close with me, most of them. And, and so it wasn't that difficult. And the players really embraced me and with the history that I had with their program right there. Now, what's really hard, I couldn't get in and go in and really get into X's and O's in changing anything. So the assistant coaches really took the biggest part of it and the challenge of that, and, just continued in the direction they were going all year. So the assistant coaches did an awesome job, but I was able to at least organize, motivate a little bit, talk to the team and give them the confidence to go into the game and have a chance to win.
Do people try to buy your dinner everywhere you go, Coach?
Not really, but I get a nice cold drink sent down my way once in a while, and that's helpful.
Do you watch much NFL as you prepare for the UFL season? Because obviously the Venn diagram, a lot of similarities. Obviously, they took some cool stuff from the XFL and put it in the NFL this year, which I like, right? I think you're seeing the NFL take some really cool things from these other leagues. Do you watch much NFL at all?
Oh, I watch it all the time, but when this is your profession all your life, I'm a football junkie. I watch any game I can find, every day or evening I could find it. So I'm always watching.
Coach, what piece of technology is used now today that you wish you had when you were at OU?
Well, we didn't have the iPads on the sideline at my, those had just come into play this year, I believe. So to me, that's really helpful to be able to dissect and analyze from series to series what somebody's trying to work on, what someone's trying to do to your offense or defense.
You had 7 Heisman Trophy finalists. You had 2 winners. Who didn't win that you felt had the best shot? I don't want to say take one away from anybody, but also we'll do this. Should have also won with whomever won. Who do you feel like could have won, but they didn't? They were a finalist, but they didn't get the trophy.
Adrian Peterson.
Like he won his freshman year, right?
No, well, he didn't. And it was his freshman year. He ended up, Jason White was third, and he split votes with Adrian Peterson was second. And I believe it was it Reggie Bush or Matt Leinart won it that year, one of the two.
Dang, they split votes. Like, how do you even handle that? Because, there's voting things that happen in this industry where it's like if 2 artists are on the same label, they've got to somehow direct people not to split the vote or nobody gets it. Like, what in the world do you guys do when you have 2?
Yeah, it's just hard. Jason White had won it the year before. And then he came in third the next year, and Adrian was second.
That's when you go to Jason, like, Jason, you already won one. Like, Jason, you tell everybody to vote for AD. That would be the move.
Exactly.
Look, it looks like you still love it. I mean, you're head coach in the UFL. I mean, do you have any itch at all to come back to the college game?
No, I've not really. I'm don't worry. I'm still asked from everybody has to check the box and usually will inquire about any interest. But I'm just really, really happy now with what I'm doing in the UFL. Where my life's at with my family and be able to travel a little bit more, golf more, those kind of things. And I'm at ease with it now.
When's the last call you got? And don't say where or who, but when's the last call you got? They were like, "Hey, coach, would you be interested in coaching college again?" How long ago?
I've been asked each year. So,
come on.
Well, I have.
No, I believe you. I'm like, come on, like, let's go. But you're such an Oklahoma guy. Like, you couldn't coach anywhere else, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be accepted anywhere else. So that helps me anyway.
Would you ever go and just want to be an offensive coordinator, or is it head coach all the way?
Yeah, that's a good point. There's something to be said about maybe just going and being a defensive coordinator somewhere for somebody. And but no, once I did this head coaching for 18 years, and don't think I'd be satisfied with just being the coordinator.
No, but I think you should be an offensive coordinator, coach. You missed my point here. It's like new horizons, right? I mean, you play defensive back, defensive guy. Like, you go and you OC. No, okay.
I don't think he's going to do it.
I know he's not going to do it. I'm trying to convince him. I'm not going to do it. Okay, what about this? Do you hate Texas?
No.
No, I do. Wow. I hate them. I hate their guts.
You can't hate anybody, Bobby. Come on.
No, I do. I hate Texas. I hate it with all my heart and all my.
I have a strong dislike for them.
Yeah, I hate them. I'm just jealous of them. I guess you had their number. I'm jealous of them. Being from Arkansas, they were bigger than us. They were richer than us. We played in the Southwest Conference together. We were bred to hate Texas, but hate comes from respect, because we wouldn't hate them if they didn't, kick us around a little bit. But yeah, I hate Texas. But you would say you dislike them on a scale of 1 to 10. If 10 means total hate, you 7, 8, coach?
I'd say a good 9.5.
Okay, that's acceptable. We like that. Okay, so everybody that's listening, the Renegades tickets are on sale starting today. and you can go over to the UFL site. And if kids come to the games, Coach, they pretty decent shot. They can get some autographs and stuff like from the players.
Oh yeah, pictures with players and autographs, and there's a lot of fan interaction, more so than any other league you're going to find, and really cater to families and to children.
Are you happy to see Oklahoma in the SEC?
I am. I just feel, the excitement of all these great games. It's going to be more challenging, yes, but financially, it makes all the sense in the world, and I believe overall it'll help us recruit. I just believe it's also gonna help, filling an 85,000 seat stadium and sky suites. People, the fans are excited about it.
Final two questions. This one's kind of a two-parter, but give me non-national championship. What is your greatest bowl victory that you're most proud of?
Oh boy, not a probably national championship, not that one, huh? So it's probably the Sugar Bowl against Alabama.
What was the hardest one to lose?
Oh, the national championship, probably against LSU, where we were in a tight game, 21-14, and lost, and had a chance late in the game with some plays to tie it up, and couldn't convert.
Did they ever approach you about moving conferences while you were the head coach?
Yes, it had come about. I don't know. This maybe what year is it now? Maybe 10 years ago or so. There was talk of us possibly moving, and the Pac-12 was involved as well as the Big Ten.
And your thoughts on that were yay or nay?
Just didn't feel at the time it was right. I didn't feel like we were. The Pac-12 wasn't appealing. I still think it's hard to watch. Their time zones were difficult to watch, and then I didn't feel we were a Big Ten school. I felt we were more like an SEC school, if that makes sense.
Final question. A lot of teams are grabbing their ankles or hamstrings to slow down these offenses. If you were the fictional SEC commissioner that fixes rules with your fist, how would you stop some of these guys from doing this, or these coaches from faking injuries to slow down offenses?
Yeah, it really, the sad part is when there is a true injury and these guys are going so fast, it is dangerous. The guy isn't capable of playing another snap, but he's capable of getting off the field. Does that make sense? But some of these guys aren't hurt at all and just fall down. That it's a bad look. It's not great for the game. I don't know what can be done about it, because there are legitimate injuries that a player needs to exit the game. And
what if they just kept them out a whole series? Like, instead of one play, what if you're out the whole series?
That's a great idea, Bob. Yeah, definitely. And you can't come back in until there's a punt or a touchdown or whatever. I like that idea.
I just fixed it, guys.
That's it.
It's done. He just gave me the job.
You're the commissioner.
That's it. The fake commissioner of rules with an iron fist. So the UFL Arlington Renegades, they are back. Get tickets at ufl.com/tickets. And Coach, when is your first game?
I haven't looked. I want to say last year we started the first weekend in March.
Yeah, I thought so too, like spring.
And I believe it's the same year. I believe so.
Yeah, it is March. Okay, and I encourage everybody to go and watch, because UFL is going to be cool. It's like the best of both worlds. And Coach Stoops, it's been a real honor to talk with you. I really appreciate you spending some time with us. And, I'll say it. I'm only going to say this to you. I've never said this in my entire life. My family tries to get me to say it all the time. But because it's such a special treat for me to spend some time with you, I'm going to say Boomer.
All right, Sooner.
There you go. I'll never say it again. Never. That's it. I'm done. All right, Coach. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Great to be with you guys.
Bye, Coach. All right. One football topic, one non-football topic. Let's go football first. Eddie.
Yeah, did you see Jim Harbaugh go into the tent before the game?
Yeah, for his heart stuff.
Yeah, how crazy is that? And then he came out, he said he went to the doctor on Monday, and it turned out that, he had like irregular heartbeat, and this is the third time in his life that he's had that. And he says, well, I'm going to keep coaching. Like, that's not going to stop me.
What was funny to me was he went into the blue tent.
Yeah.
Like it's like an ankle injury
Like a
or
player.
yeah. When it looked serious when they pulled his brother from the press conference. Did you see that?
No,
He was
I
doing
didn't
the
see
Ravens
that.
and somebody gets and he gets up and leaves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, John. And so, but that was about that. But yeah, he's gonna keep coaching.
It's just crazy. He goes in the blue tent and like, yeah, man, your heart's not beating the right way. He's like, all right, well, I got a game in 5 minutes. Let me out of here.
Yeah, and it's his third time, right?
Third time in his life.
Third time. Football topic, Kevin.
Mine is something that's been bothering me last couple of weeks. We need to make a broadcasting rule and interview these quarterbacks after they make a dumb play to end the game. Bad throw, run out of bounds. We saw Tennessee quarterback do that. Jacoby Brissett did it the other day. And then also South Carolina quarterback did it when they were coming back against Alabama.
Well, also the Ohio State.
And Ohio
The
State.
slide.
Like, what is going on in your head? You don't even give your team a chance.
Well, what's going on in their head is I'm not going to give my team a chance. I mean, I don't think they're going, watch this. I'm going to screw my team over. I think there's just a lot of stuff happening and they make a wrong decision. I think we make wrong decisions in traffic sometimes. I think
Sure.
But
No,
I feel you. The slide, though, was interesting because it wasn't a first down. Like, and all of these we should have known. 2 weeks ago at Tennessee, like the
That was the worst. He ran out of bounds.
He ran out of bounds, right? Obviously, their internal clock is different. Maybe they heard a coach say something wrong. They think the clock is, I don't know. I also think it's kind of weird to make them be interviewed right after their bad play.
Oh,
be fun.
yeah.
Yeah, unless it's your team.
It's not good.
No, but even if it's your team, like Jacoby Brissett did it a couple weeks ago, I was like, I need to know what he's thinking when he makes that pass at the 10-yard line when the clock's running out.
But what if
End the
it's
game.
like a coach gave him wrong information? He's not going to throw anybody under the bus.
Do it.
Right.
With college kids, I still feel like we can protect them a little bit, especially if you're a freshman, you
Yep.
make a bonehead decision like the Tennessee kid a couple weeks ago. But yeah, NFL players, they have to go answer anyway. They have to all do their press time. But yeah, don't worry about Brissett. He's not playing anymore, dude.
I know.
He's done.
I know. But Drake May's the future.
Yeah, at
he did.
times, looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Two touchdown passes?
3.
3.
And
Come on now.
had a little more time to throw. Not a great job by the line, but I will say that when the quarterback is a threat to throw, the defenses aren't going to be able to stack the box like they were doing against Jacoby Brissett, which then if they're blitzing, they're obviously closer to the quarterback, which is even less time to throw. Like they had to respect
Yeah.
Drake May a bit.
He could run. He got out a little bit. And then they didn't even have Stevenson, their running back. He was out.
Was that exciting for you
Yeah.
as a Patriots fan?
Yeah. I still feel bad for him because he was still getting rocked.
Yes,
back
he
there.
was. He was getting
But
rocked.
At the same time, he looked calm, composed, and I liked it.
I think it's kind of weird you want to hear people at their darkest moment be immediately interviewed.
I know, that's very strange.
Yeah.
That's because as a fan, I'm also at the darkest moment because we just lost the game.
That makes sense.
My football topic is going to be Texas. I was just looking at their schedule because, again, they're murdering folks. They've got 2 quarterbacks as good as anybody else's one quarterback. Like, the rich get richer. Them and Ohio State have probably the 2 best rosters in college football. They're playing Georgia this week. If Georgia loses, that's an elimination. They're not going to go play for the SEC championship. Georgia may not even make the college football playoff, which would be weird. So Texas and Georgia play. That is in Austin. So that'll be a real test of Texas, though. Because when you look at Texas so far, Oklahoma, not that good. We saw Oklahoma get beat by Tennessee. We saw Arkansas beat Tennessee. So just do the little math there. That doesn't always add up. But,
right.
Oklahoma doesn't have an offense. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Texas beat Mississippi State. They suck. Texas beat Louisiana Monroe. They suck. Texas beat UTSA. They should. Texas beat Michigan 31-12. Like, that's the only game, and Michigan isn't definitely what Michigan was last year. That's the only game that really Texas has been able to go, we're really good, watch this. Because it was in Ann Arbor, and it was Michigan. They're ranked 24 now. They were ranked even higher at the time. But Texas really hasn't played anybody really good. So this will be interesting because Georgia, even a Georgia program that is not what Georgia usually is still better than most teams.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun one. That's the game of the week, huh? 1 and 5?
Yeah.
I guess it has to be
Yeah.
because 2 and 3 aren't playing.
And when was the last time they played it?
Georgia and Texas?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can't remember
So
that.
Texas plays Vanderbilt after that. Texas should win that, even though Vanderbilt's been awesome. They won again. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Kentucky.
Vanderbilt's America's team. Until
And
they win
that's-
too much, then we're like, those rich kids.
Start hating them.
Florida, Texas. Florida should have beat Tennessee. Graham Mertz went down, got hurt, gone the rest of the year. Florida. The fact that Florida didn't go for 2 to win that game drove me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I could not believe they were not going for 2. You're away, you go for 2 in that situation.
Yep.
You're away. You also lost your quarterback, so it's not like you're expecting. Even though DJ, whatever his name is, he's a five-star kid, and he played a little bit this year. Lago, what his name was? The freshman. Somebody Google it.
Oh, for Florida.
Yeah, for Florida. Yeah, you go for 2 there. That's just the general rule of being away at the end of a game. If you're the home team, you stretch it out and you go because you have the advantage.
Yeah.
If you're the away team, you go 50-50.
Especially as an underdog.
What's his name?
DJ Lagway.
Lagway, thank you. Texas at Arkansas, that's November 16th. We're for sure going to beat that butt. Most people won't think that, but we're for sure going to beat that butt. Then they play Kentucky. Then they play Texas A&M. Like, Texas has like 2.5 games that they've got to win. This Georgia game's big. The A&M game will be fun, probably, because it is in College Station. That'll be cool. The rivalry's back. And I think we hate them so much, we'll develop some little superpower to play them. We beat them last time they were in Arkansas. But, yeah, it's Texas. Like, it sucks they came into the SEC, and they're probably going to win the conference.
They're really good.
That sucks. I know. Good thing Oklahoma's not really good, because then it'd be like, well, maybe
those 2 guys coming in.
well, anybody coming in. Just 2 teams coming from another conference, from a weaker conference, and all of a sudden they're both dominating. You're like, well, maybe it wasn't that hard. Like, anybody can go over. So I'm glad Oklahoma kind of sucks, because Texas was stacked anyway, wherever they played. But I hate Texas. Non-football topic, Kevin.
Over the weekend, I ran into a former NFL player at a gas station, like a little tiny gas station in Alabama. And I just want to see if you guys can guess him real quick.
Is he from Alabama?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Herschel Walker.
Yeah, you got to give us hints.
He's from...
We just guess straight up.
Yeah, like, or ask questions. Sorry, ask questions.
Are we going to know who he is?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, Brett
A-,
Favre.
like, I would say A-.
Is he a skill player?
No.
He's not a skill
yes,
player?
he is. Sorry, yes, he is. Yes, he
Oh.
is.
Did you say football player?
Yes, NFL.
Okay.
Did he play college ball in Alabama?
No.
In the South?
Yeah, I guess considered that.
South.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of bored.
Is he
of it.
still playing?
No, just retired a few years ago.
It's a few years ago. Did we?
I don't know.
Okay,
Who is it?
never mind. It's Phillip Rivers.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think
That's
you just leave
cool.
with that. I saw Phillip Rivers at a gas station. Would have been
Yeah.
like, dang, now we're like tired from playing this stupid game. Did
In Alabama.
In
he have all his
Alabama.
kids with him?
No, he's by himself and he's on the phone.
Well, what's
and,
up?
And I looked at him. I was looking at. I think I was getting beer, and I looked over to the left. I just saw this big guy, and I looked.
Is he
and I'm-
big?
He's big.
Yeah.
And I pointed at him. I was like, "Dude!" And he looked at me. He's on the phone, on speakerphone. He was actually on the phone, and he just gave me the look of like, "Please don't." So I didn't. And then I went to go check out. We were the only, me, my girlfriend's brother, and him were the only 3 in the store. Went to go check out, and he was behind us, and he stayed like 10 feet behind.
Because he knew you recognized him, so he didn't want to get close?
Yeah.
You really said, dude?
Yeah. And I pointed at him because I was a little buzzed, so I didn't. That was my first thought. Hey, dude. I'm like, I know you.
That happens.
Yeah.
Large guy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
By himself.
By himself. He coaches the high school
school.
team there. Yeah, Catholic.
Oh, that's where he's coaching in Alabama?
Yeah,
I guess I just assumed he was in San Diego coaching.
did too.
Just because he played for the Chargers. It's stupid to me.
Yeah. He coaches some Catholic school there. Lives down the street from there.
He played at NC State, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess the South.
That's what I was like.
I mean, the Confederacy, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be the South.
Civil War South.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, below Mason-Dixon, I think, is still there. Non-football, Eddie?
I think that I have a theory here about this snake that was in the dugout at the Dodger Stadium. Did you see this? Mm-hmm. So game 2 at the Dodger Stadium, there's a snake in the Dodgers dugout. I think the Mets put it in there. Because how many times do you see a snake in a field in a locker room? You never see that.
I don't know. They're the bowels of a stadium that are pretty gross.
Like, I think New York has cats, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to sneak a snake in.
That's just crazy that in a major league baseball field, there was a reptile in somebody's dugout.
I don't know. Sometimes there's like possums and stuff that run out of there.
Well, that's true.
I'm just saying, underneath the stadium, where the bowels are, there are all kinds of weird
It's
animals
LA,
and
dude.
stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not subscribing to that theory.
No, I thought it was genius. Mets, good job. That's how you do it. That's how you distract the other team. But not really, because you're losing.
If you were to say Phillip Rivers was in the dugout, I'd be like, wow, how'd he get there?
From
Somebody
Alabama.
must have planted Phillip Rivers in the dugout. Yes. My story is 23 middle school cheerleaders in Texas are suffering from 1st and 2nd degree burns on their hands after their coach made them perform bear crawls and crab walks on a hot outdoor track as punishment.
Yeah, it's not good.
So I read the story. My thought is, just my thoughts here. Bear crawls and crab walks suck. Had to do them in high school football all the time. You hated them. It was basically the punishment exercise. I always like crab walks a little more than bear crawls. They were a little easier, but they hurt the wrist a little more. You familiar with what a crab walk is, Eddie?
No, what did we do the other day?
Those are bear crawls.
Okay.
Crab walks are backward. You put your hands behind you and you go backward.
Ooh, that's tough. I've done those.
Not as hard as bear crawls, but also suck. So whatever they did, I'm not sure. I don't think the coach, if I'm guessing, made them do it to burn their hands. That was probably just the only place you could put your hand, because it's not like you can either do it on the grass or you can do it on a track. And the coach was dumb to make them do this on a hot day on a dark track. I'm assuming the track was black.
Yeah.
So stupid. I'm not saying that, but I would think that the coach, part of their punishment wasn't, and your hands will burn.
No. He
I
just
would
didn't
think-
realize it was going to be hot.
Correct. Yeah. Or didn't think about it.
Because like they say that about dogs, right? They say like, if it's really hot outside, your dogs, they can't walk on that hot sidewalk, but we don't think about it because we have shoes on.
Also, they're middle school, and that's stupid. Why are you
Yeah,
doing that
that's
to
a
middle
lot.
schoolers? Like, the coach needs to be in trouble. I was just thinking, like, what's the mindset? And we had to do bear crawls and crab walks all the time in middle school. But we didn't call it middle school, junior high. Is that middle school?
Yeah, junior.
Like 8th and 9th grade football?
Yeah.
Constantly.
Eight,
But
yeah.
but we either did it on the field or on the track. But I can't think, I'm just giving this human the benefit of the doubt. They weren't making them do it on the track because the track was hot. Right? Nobody's that stupid.
No.
You got to think, coach. Take your punishment.
Yeah, think about this.
Now they should make him do it.
For like
That's eye for an
10
eye type
minutes.
stuff. That's like Bible type stuff there.
Man, I was thinking when I was in middle school, we had this new coach come in from Minnesota, and we were in South Texas. We were like 7 miles north of Mexico, South Texas, all Mexican kids. Like 99% of our school were Mexican kids. And our coach comes in, he's from Minnesota, and he's like, all right, let's do some stretches. He's like, let's do some cotton picking. And that's where you spread your legs and they act like you're picking cotton, where you like stretch from between your legs. And he's like, you guys are used to that, so come on. And it's something that like I'd never thought about when it happened. But now that I'm like 45 years old, I'm like, I remember him saying that. And that is some racist stuff.
Do you think that it was because you were Mexicans or because there was cotton being picked in the area? I don't know. I don't know the guy's heart, and I don't know. I never knew that Mexicans generally pick cotton.
Well, yeah, migrant farm workers. It's kind of like
Got it.
what we do. My mom, like she did that all growing up. She hates the sun because they would just go pick cotton.
Was the coach white?
Yeah, it's from Minnesota,
bro.
man.
Oh yeah, I know. If it's Minnesota, it still means he's white.
He's for sure white.
Yeah,
But it was crazy. I
That's
hadn't
a bad
thought
move.
about that, but I'm like, you know what?
that's a bad move.
40 years later, like that's not right.
We had Slave Day at our school.
What?
And it was a school, and it was my hometown is white quarters, black quarters, railroad track, still to this day. And so it was. You can't do that anyway. But you're talking about a diverse population, and seniors would go and they would be auctioned off in the middle of the gym, and then you would own them for a day, and they do whatever, like carry your books. But it was
my
called
gosh.
Slave Day.
That's terrible.
What?
And we didn't. It was just a tradition for so long. I never thought anything about it. And I was a slave one year, but as I got older, not even that much older, like 25, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that's crazy.
Was that supposed to teach you like this isn't okay? Or
Well, maybe to
what?
learn about
No,
that.
no. It was to
No?
raise money for whatever they were doing because people paid for it. Teachers would go for the most, and they'd have to like carry your dues. It was a terrible thing.
It's funny we don't realize that till we're older. Like that's
Well,
not
because
good.
for you, I guess it wasn't part of that culture because you didn't know that guy.
Right.
But they had done it like 15 years in a row at my school. So it was like, oh, Slave Day. I'd both been sold and been bought. And bought.
This is not good.
It's crazy. It was terrible. They don't do it anymore, thank God.
Yeah.
It's like with those teachers now, they get like lap dances from the mascot.
Yes. At pep rallies.
Oh, my God. All right, let's play the audio of Jerry Jones. I have not heard this yet. Mike D just said, have you heard it? I said no, so we're going to listen to it together. This is from
105.3 The Fan in Dallas.
the Cowboys flagship station.
Yeah.
Are they interviewing?
Yeah, they're asking him what happened during the game.
Here we go.
This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to
So
ask
y'all get
why.
a job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
No, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
Okay. Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the rights?
That's the end of the clip.
That's it.
That's funny.
Oh,
Those
no.
poor guys.
Oh, no.
I feel bad for those guys because they're like trying to do their job.
Yeah.
But also, if Jerry Jones is kind of the boss, you got to do your job a little differently unless you want the pushback of challenging the person that can probably challenge your job. It's a weird place to have to be.
But what was the question? What's going on?
know.
What's wrong? I mean, I feel like it's a legit question.
Look, Jerry's cranky.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the first thing. And then I feel bad for these guys because they're trying to do their job as radio hosts or reporters or whatever they classify themselves as and ask the tough questions. But on the super personal level, you also have to know that if you're asking questions to somebody who can affect your livelihood
Yeah.
and that person's known to be a bit temperamental, you don't grab the horns if you don't want to be bold in the balls or whatever it is.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
that's what it was.
the line.
So, yeah, nobody wins on that except for us.
Yeah, because I was.
Yeah,
funny to
because
listen to.
we enjoyed the clip, but nobody wins on that because Jerry Jones doesn't like it. Obviously, he doesn't like to be challenged, and these guys don't like it because now they're embarrassed, and Jerry Jones got on them.
You do. He even hit him with a. I'm serious. You think I'm joking?
They started laughing, so they were like,
laugh it off.
I think it was awkward to them, so they're. Yeah, that's where I would have just been like, "Oh, we're losing you." Click.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, you're in the Radio Hall of Fame, dude.
I mean,
That's
as soon as
smart.
it would have got awkward, especially if it were live, I'd have been like, "Wow, we're breaking up." Boom! I just dropped it immediately.
That's
because
so smart.
I wouldn't
Just get out of
just
it.
prove I didn't.
Right.
But yeah, that sucked a little ago.
Hey, that's awkward.
Well, yeah, and also, it was his birthday, and he got beat real bad,
He was really embarrassed.
and he's embarrassed, and no geniuses with a microphone.
So what's that meeting he's talking about with all the teams? They all just get together, all the owners.
The owners meeting, yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
I feel like it's like Illuminati.
I think that
little
they have
bit.
Oh, for sure.
They're all wearing robes.
Mask.
They gotta wear their mascots, man.
Dang, I felt bad for everybody there.
Yeah. It was awkward.
Jerry, because he got beat real bad on his birthday. I hate that for him. Those radio guys
How old is
trying
he?
to challenge Jerry. 82?
82, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. But for the record, Jerry Jones super nice to us.
Oh, he's a great guy, dude. Super nice.
Took us in his helicopter.
Yeah.
I love him. Okay, cool. We did mention earlier, and Casey's here now, who's a big Jets fan. You got to be kind of torn because what a bad game. But also, you just got Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but I don't know. This one hurt really bad. I think I need like some of Aaron's ayahuasca juice or something like that.
But you just got
turn this
Devontae. You
thing
don't
around.
care?
I mean, it just feels like a little too late. I don't know. I don't really, I feel like it's not going to fix the defense. It's not going to fix the offensive line. I mean, yes, it's reuniting with Aaron and, another guy from Green Bay that we're bringing over to the Jets. And,
just
I'm a little
another guy,
jaded right
though.
now, man. I'm a little jaded right now.
To be fair,
I'm a little-
not just another guy.
And he's swinging his fists like he's like a.
just,
You are going to be reinvested in a matter of hours.
Yeah, talk to me in like 2 days. I'll be right back.
So, in 2 days, what do you think you'll say about this trade?
I'll say that I'll give Woody credit for still trying to salvage this season. I mean, yesterday was a big game, but we're 2-4. There's a lot of teams that are also 2-4, 3-3. So, if we click at some point, there is a chance to hit the wild card. But once again, prime time Sunday night, and I just as a Jet fan, I apologize to all of you
That's
that you
bad.
have to watch the Jets on every primetime game that there is. But
That's a bad game.
yeah, so now we're playing the Steelers Sunday night. I mean,
That'll be
I
a
guess
bad
you
game, too.
could. Yeah,
Ooh, that's going to be a
rough.
you got to
It's
win
gonna
that
be
one
rough.
ugly because it's going to be ugly.
So,
What did you think about Aaron Rodgers blaming? Is it Lazard? No,
Mike
Mike
Williams.
Williams.
Mike Williams.
Yeah.
On that comeback, on
That's
that,
rough, man.
Yeah, no,
he underthrew the ball.
Yeah.
he underthrew the ball. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, Mike Williams looks like he's still not really figured out Aaron Rodgers' scheme and stuff like that. And it is like week 6 already. It's like, dude, like, what
get
are we
that.
doing? But, if you told me that, in the last 3 games that Aaron Rodgers would have the ball last to win the game for us and we would go 0-3, I mean, that's pretty bad, man. You know what I mean? Like, you would think like 2-1 or something.
That
It's Aaron
wasn't his
Rodgers.
thing, yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just the same old Jets, man.
Hassan Reddick got a new agent.
Hassan Reddick's got a new agent. He's looking to get a trade. I don't know.
No, bring him back. Let's
Bring
go.
him back. Yeah, I mean, it would be
Well, bring him there
wonderful
for
for our defense.
For the first time this year. I guess not bad.
I don't know if I want to see that guy
Yeah.
Kinlaw
But they did
anymore.
open the window
Yeah.
to look for a trade, right? They
Yeah,
said a
that's
small
what they
window,
said,
whatever
right,
that
a
means.
small window, which I guess means this week or something. So
Well, good. Hey, there's a little consolation.
yeah, and thank God for
you have a-
playoff baseball. It's the only thing that's keeping me sane here.
Oh yeah, Yankees fan.
And nothing like beating on the little Guardians.
Hey man,
Take it out on little Guardians with all your payroll. Reed, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. We played pickleball yesterday. Me, Eddie, Reed. Finally,
Oh. Wow, dude, you killed us. Like
Well-
it was basically Bobby versus me and Reed and I would rotate.
It was just like, all right, man.
So
you're
I
up.
would get whooped like 0
Then
to
you get a little
7,
winded,
and
and then
then
you gotta
then I
switch.
get a break. Reed would
Yeah.
come in, he'd get whooped, and we just did that for what, an hour and a half.
well, and then the last match, I was like, well, let's just. It was really good. But Reed's been playing a while, and Eddie almost beat him. Like I think a few more matches, and Eddie overtakes Reed, even though Reed's been playing for 4 months.
No.
No, yes, Eddie's already as good or better than you, and it's the first time he ever like really played with yesterday.
Yeah.
Like we shot on camera and did an episode,
That's the last time I played.
and that wasn't even really playing. That was
Yeah.
just for on camera. Like I think you will overtake Reed the next time you play.
You want to play? You want to play today, Punk?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I don't try as hard as I should.
What does that
Why?
mean?
To.
That's the lamest.
you can't let
know?
up, man. You gotta
loser
go,
of an excuse
I
I've
know.
ever
You're a warrior.
heard. I don't try as hard as I
I know.
should.
Because I'm just like, I'm just not competitive unless like there's money on the line, you know?
Oh,
we should put money
Throw a few
on it.
units down. Couple units.
I'll bet against you.
unit.
Couple units, baby.
But we're not doing that today. Like, let's give us a few weeks to like do that because I mean I want
No,
more
just
reps.
play. Reed is making
Cold out there,
loser
man.
excuses.
Now Eddie's gonna train for this.
You know what? No. You know what losers say? I play my best when the lights come on. I only play my best when we're betting for money. That's what losers say. Winners compete all the time, regardless. Like you hate losing. Therefore, it's not even that you love to win, but you do win because you hate losing so much. Reed's a loser. That is a loser attitude.
What do you guys say there, Reed?
I agree.
I'm just not that messed up of being a loser, you know?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He didn't care.
He's okay with
He's like
being a
the
loser?
nicest, sweetest guy ever. He's like, if you want me to be a loser, I will be.
Oh my God.
Reed's like the kindest,
is.
gentlest.
I know.
Like and I don't mean that in a hater. Like Reed's just like, well, if you want to win, you can.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't have Eye of the Tiger, huh?
I mean,
Do you not want to beat Eddie?
I do.
You beat him yesterday.
I
but-
did want to beat him just because it was the first time he's played, and I was like, this is
and he almost beat you
this
into
is hurting
sudden
my
death.
soul if I just got absolutely ran through on that.
Like I pound you, it doesn't bother you.
It does a little bit because I'm like, come on, man, like I got a little bit in me, you know, not to just get pounded every single time.
Do you think you don't have it in you because you don't think you can win, and so it's kind of your defense mechanism?
I think it's.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm not
I think for
competitive.
me, I think it's for me. Like I know I have the athleticism, but I feel like mentally, I'm not as smart in the game as you and a lot of people. So I want like.
We're talking about pickleball, by the way, guys. Recreation.
Right.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
Should got Coach Stoops on for that.
Yeah, man. 'Cause I mean, you got those no looks going and stuff, and I'm just
No
trying to get it, I'm
looks?
just trying to get it over the net, man.
Yeah.
Thinking too much.
That's true.
I know.
Do you play pickleball at all?
Me? No, I've played twice against my girlfriend. That's it.
We got to get him out there.
Amateur.
I beat her.
Oh,
Okay,
We're
Reed.
proud of you, dude. Proud of you.
Do you play pickleball, Casey?
I played tennis. I actually never played pickleball.
You did play
before.
tennis, though?
A little bit.
I think
Reed's-
you'll be
Nothing
good.
great.
Reed's roommate showed up, and he was a tennis player, and he got pretty good at pickleball pretty quick.
Nice.
But then Reed like took his anger out on his roommate and would like beat his roommate was pretty good. Reed would like beat him. And I'm like, well, why are you trying now? It's just the roommate thing.
I guess so.
You don't wanna lose
It's
to the person in
weird.
your
Yeah,
house?
I think so. I think it's what it is.
Well, imagine Eddie lives with you.
Yeah.
It's
Picture that before we
freaking
play.
going down,
Yeah.
dude. No chance.
Like some water boy stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, Reed and Eddie. Reed's still the not last place,
Okay.
I'll take it.
but just barely.
I need to get over there and play.
You should. It's fun.
You don't have tickets, so
Oh,
Yeah. It's gonna be tough to play without tickets.
Got to get tickets for it to come over there. All right, that's it for us. We're done. Thank you all. Thanks to Coach Stoops. Sorry, Cowboys. Sorry, Jets.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Patriots?
Sorry, Patriots.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
no sorry, Arkansas, because we didn't play.
I know.
Look at us. We got a bye.
Hey.
Yeah. Playing LSU this week, though. Thank you, guys. We will see you guys.
Oof.
I think we're going to beat them.
Yeah.
I said that last week at Tennessee, too.
You
I don't
did.
say that. I do not recklessly throw around. I think we're going to beat people. I think we're going to beat them, or it's going to be real close.
I hope so, man.
Do you hope that?
Yeah, just for the sake of our audience. And
Oh, they don't care. They want me to lose.
I don't know. It's just better shows when they win.
No, they want me to lose. No, it's better shows when they lose. Come in here pissed off. Thank you guys. We'll see you later on this week. Bye, everybody. Blow it, Eddie.
Here we go.